I was lying on the bathroom floor when I heard my phone buzz for the third time. I couldn't reach it. My left arm wouldn't move the way I wanted it to. My face felt wrong. The words I tried to say came out slurred and thick. I knew what this was. I'm a registered nurse. I'd seen it dozens of times in the ER. I was having a stroke. And I was alone. My name is Sarah. I'm 41 years old, and until 6 months ago, I thought I had a close family. I'd always been the reliable one. The one who showed up. When Mom needed someone to drive her to chemotherapy appointments 3 years ago, I rearranged my entire work schedule. When my brother Jake got divorced, I let him and his 2 kids stay in my guest room for 4 months. When my sister Emily's husband lost his job, I co-signed their car loan. I never asked for much back. Just presence. Just showing up when it mattered. That morning started normally. I woke up with a headache, but I'd had those before. By the time I got out of the shower, my vision was blurry on one side. I tried to call my mom. No answer. I called Jake. Voicemail. Emily didn't pick up either. I managed to text our family group chat. Something's wrong. Need help. Can't drive. I watched the 3 dots appear under Emily's name. Then disappear. Then nothing. 10 minutes later, I collapsed. I don't remember much about the ambulance. I remember a neighbor I barely knew, Mrs. Chen from 2 doors down, kneeling beside me, her hand on my shoulder. She'd heard something fall and came to check. She saved my life. The hospital kept me for 5 days. Ischemic stroke, moderate severity. I'd need physical therapy for my left side. Speech therapy. Months of recovery. The doctor said I was lucky. If I'd waited even an hour longer, the damage would have been permanent. My family visited on day 3. Not because they rushed to my side. Because they'd just gotten back from the cruise. The cruise. I'd forgotten about it in the chaos. They'd been planning it for months, a family trip to the Caribbean. Mom, Jake, Emily, their spouses, the kids. They'd invited me too, but I couldn't get the time off work. I told them to go and have fun. The cruise departed the morning I had my stroke. When Emily walked into my hospital room with flowers and a guilty smile, I was still relearning how to hold a cup without spilling it. "Oh my God, Sarah, we came as soon as we heard," she said. I stared at her. My speech was still slow, but I managed. "When did you hear?" "This morning." Jake checked his phone when we docked. "I texted 3 days ago." She glanced at Jake. He was standing in the doorway, hands in his pockets, looking at the floor. "We didn't have signal most of the trip," he said. "You know how it is on ships." I looked at my mom. She was holding a balloon that said "Get well soon." "Mom, you saw the text?" She hesitated. Just for a second. But I saw it. "Honey, I thought you were just having another migraine. You know how you get those." My vision wasn't blurry anymore. Everything was very, very clear. They stayed for 20 minutes. Made small talk. Showed me pictures from the trip. Emily's kids with dolphins. Jake holding a giant margarita. Mom on the deck at sunset. They all looked so happy. When they left, I lay very still in that hospital bed and made a decision. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to yell. I was going to pay attention. The first thing I did when I got home was check the family group chat. I scrolled back to the day of my stroke. My message was there: "Something's wrong. Need help. Can't drive." Delivered at 9:47 a.m. Below it, I saw something I hadn't noticed in the hospital. Emily had responded. At 9:51 a.m. "Can it wait? We're literally about to board." Jake had reacted to her message with a thumbs up. Mom had typed, "Take some Tylenol, sweetie. We'll check in when we dock." I sat there on my couch, my left hand still clumsy on the phone, and read those messages 5 times. They hadn't lost signal. They hadn't missed it. They'd seen me ask for help, and they'd chosen to get on the boat anyway. Physical therapy was 3 times a week. I couldn't drive yet, so I took ride shares. Mrs. Chen offered to take me a few times, but I didn't want to burden her more than I already had. My family didn't offer. Emily texted me recipes she thought would help with recovery. Jake sent me a link to a podcast about neuroplasticity. Mom called once a week to ask how I was feeling, then spent the rest of the call talking about her book club. None of them visited. I didn't ask them to. I wanted to see what they'd do on their own. The answer was nothing. 6 weeks after my stroke, Emily invited me to her daughter's birthday party. I almost said no. But I needed to see them in person. I needed to understand who they really were. The party was at a rented pavilion in the park. There were balloons, a bounce house, at least 30 people. I arrived late because my rideshare got stuck in traffic. When I walked up, Jake was manning the grill. He waved. "Hey, stranger. Glad you could make it." Emily rushed over and hugged me. "Oh my God, you look so much better. We were so worried about you." I pulled back and looked at her. "Were you?" She blinked. "Of course. You scared us half to death." I didn't respond. I just walked over to the picnic table where Mom was sitting with Emily's husband, Tyler. Mom patted the seat next to her. "How are you feeling, honey?" "Better," I said. "Still in therapy. Still can't work full shifts." "Well, you're tough. You'll bounce back." She turned back to Tyler and continued a story about their neighbors. I sat there for 10 minutes, listening. Nobody asked about my recovery. Nobody asked if I needed anything. Nobody mentioned the cruise, or the texts, or the fact that I'd nearly died alone on my bathroom floor. It was like it hadn't happened. That's when I saw Jake's phone sitting on the table. He'd left it there while he went to get more propane. The screen was face up. A notification popped up from a group chat I didn't recognize. Jake's better family. I glanced around. No one was watching me. I picked up the phone. No password, he disabled it for the party so the kids could take photos. I opened the chat. It was Jake, Emily, Tyler, and Emily's best friend Rachel. The messages went back months. I scrolled to the week of my stroke. Emily, "Sarah's freaking out again. Says she needs help," face with rolling eyes. Jake, "Dude, we're literally about to leave. She does this every time we plan something without her." Tyler, "Classic Sarah. Can't handle not being the center of attention." Rachel, "You guys should just ignore it. She'll be fine. She always is." Emily, "I'm so done with her guilt trips. This is our vacation." Jake, "Agreed. Phone goes on airplane mode the second we board." Emily, "Thank God. I need a break from the drama." I kept scrolling. 2 days later, while I was in the ICU. Jake, "Okay, I finally checked my messages. Sarah's in the hospital. Stroke or something." Emily, "Are you serious?" Jake, "Yeah. Neighbor found her." Tyler, "Shit. Do we need to fly back?" Emily, "We dock in 2 days anyway. What's the point?" Rachel, "She's probably fine if she's texting. Strokes are serious but she's young." Jake, "Exactly. We'll visit when we get back. No point ruining the trip." Emily, "Agreed. She'd want us to enjoy ourselves." I took screenshots. Every single message. Then I put Jake's phone back exactly where I found it. My hands were shaking. Not from the stroke. From rage. But I didn't let it show. I stayed at the party for another hour. I smiled. I ate cake. I played with Emily's kids. When Emily hugged me goodbye, I hugged her back. "Love you," she said. "Love you too," I said. And I meant it the same way she did. Not at all. I didn't confront them. That's what they expected. They expected me to be emotional. To cry and yell and beg them to explain. They expected me to need them. I didn't need them anymore. I went home and backed up those screenshots to 3 different places. Cloud storage. External hard drive. Email to myself. Then I started looking at everything else. The car loan I'd co-signed for Emily and Tyler. They'd missed 2 payments in the last 4 months. My credit score had taken the hit, not theirs. I had the paperwork. I had the email reminders from the bank that they'd ignored. The money I'd lent Jake when he was going through his divorce. $4,000. He said he'd pay me back within a year. That was 3 years ago. I found the Venmo transaction. I found the text where he promised repayment. I'd never pushed. I'd never asked for it back. Because that's what family does, right? I made a list. Every favor. Every time I'd rearranged my life for them. Every dinner I'd paid for, every bill I'd covered, every time I'd been the one to show up. Then I made a second list. Every time they'd been there for me. The second list was very short. I called a lawyer on a Wednesday morning. Her name was Monica. She specialized in family law and elder care, but she'd seen cases like mine before. "Do you want to sue them?" she asked. "No," I said. "I want to protect myself." I showed her the screenshots. I showed her the loan documents. I explained the co-signed car loan and how my credit was being damaged. Monica didn't look surprised. She'd seen worse. "Here's what we can do," she said. "First, you remove yourself from that car loan. The bank won't like it, but but given your medical situation and the fact that they've been missing payments, we can make a case for financial hardship. Second, you send a formal demand letter to your brother for the loan repayment. Certified mail. Legal letterhead. 30 days to respond. And if he doesn't pay? Then we file in small claims court. It's a straightforward case. You have documentation. He has nothing. I nodded slowly. What about the screenshots? Monica leaned back in her chair. Those are damning. But they're not illegal. Morally bankrupt, yes. Cruel, absolutely. But you can't sue someone for being a bad family member. I don't want to sue them, I said. I want them to know that I know. Then you confront them. But you do it smart. You do it with a witness. You do it when you're ready. I'm ready. I spent the next 2 weeks getting my affairs in order. I contacted the bank about the car loan. Monica sent the demand letter to Jake. I changed my emergency contacts at work and at my doctor's office. Mrs. Chen's name went at the top. I blocked my family on social media. Not dramatically. Just quietly. One day I was there, the next day I wasn't. Emily noticed first. She texted me, "Did you block me?" I didn't respond. Jake called. I let it go to voicemail. He sounded confused, not concerned. "Hey, Sarah, weird question. Did you send me some kind of legal letter? Call me back." I didn't. Mom texted in the family group chat. "Sarah, honey, what's going on? Jake said you're being weird." I left the group chat. Then I did nothing. For 3 weeks, I went silent. I knew it would drive them crazy. They were used to me being available, responsive, dependable. Now I was a question mark. Emily showed up at my door on a Saturday afternoon. I'd been expecting this. I opened the door but didn't invite her in. "What the hell is going on?" she said. She looked annoyed, not worried. "You're ignoring all of us. You left the group chat. Jake's freaking out about some lawyer letter." "I want my $4,000 back," I said calmly. She blinked. "What?" "Jake owes me $4,000. I want it back. I also removed myself from your car loan. You're on your own now." Her face went red. "Are you serious right now? After everything we've done for you?" "What have you done for me, Emily?" She opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. "I was there when you were in the hospital." 3 days late, I said. "You came 3 days late. After I nearly died. Because you didn't want to ruin your vacation." "That's not fair." I pulled out my phone. Opened the screenshots. Held it up so she could see. Her face went white. "How did you?" "Jake left his phone unlocked at the birthday party." She stared at the screen. At her own words. Classic Sarah. Can't handle not being the center of attention. "Sarah, listen. I'm going to make this very simple," I said. "You're going to leave. You're going to tell Jake and Mom that I'm done. If Jake doesn't pay me back within 30 days, I'm filing in small claims court. If any of you contact me again, I'll forward these screenshots to everyone we know. Aunts, uncles, cousins, your friends, your neighbors. Everyone. You wouldn't. Try me." She stood there for a long moment. Then she turned and walked away. I closed the door. Locked it. My hands were steady. Jake paid me back in 2 weeks. Venmo transfer. No message attached. Mom called once. I answered. "Sarah, please. We're family." "No," I said. "We're related. There's a difference." I hung up. The money appeared in my account on a Tuesday morning. $4,000. Every cent Jake had owed me for 3 years. No apology. No explanation. Just the transfer. I stared at it for a while, then moved it into my savings account. It didn't feel like a victory. It felt like closing a door that should have been closed a long time ago. A week later, Mom tried one more time. She didn't call. She didn't text. She showed up at my physical therapy appointment. I saw her through the window of the clinic, sitting in the waiting area with her purse in her lap, looking small and nervous. My therapist noticed me freeze. "You okay?" "My mom's here," I said. "Do you want to see her?" I thought about it. Not alone. We finished the session. When I came out, Mom stood up immediately. "Sarah, honey, please. Can we just talk?" My therapist, David, stayed close. Not hovering, just present. I told him some of what happened. He knew. "What do you want to say?" I asked. Mom's eyes were red. She looked like she'd been crying, but I didn't feel the usual urge to comfort her. "I'm sorry," she said. "I'm so sorry. We made a terrible mistake." "You saw my text," I said. "You knew I needed help, and you got on that boat anyway." "I thought," she stopped. Started again. "I thought you were exaggerating. You've always been so dramatic about your migraines, and I just thought." "I have never," I said slowly, "been dramatic about my health. I'm a nurse, Mom. I don't call for help unless I need it." I know that now. But in the moment, you chose a vacation over your daughter." She flinched. "It wasn't like that." "Yes, it was." I pulled out my phone. "I have the messages, Mom. All of them. Jake and Emily making fun of me. Calling me dramatic. Deciding I wasn't worth flying home for." Her face crumpled. "I didn't say those things." "But you agreed with them. You left me there." She reached for my hand. I stepped back. "What do you want me to do?" she whispered. "Tell me how to fix this." I looked at her. Really looked at her. This woman who'd raised me. Who I'd taken care of through cancer. Who taught me that family came first. "I don't think you can," I said. She left. I didn't watch her go. David walked me to my rideshare. "You doing okay?" "Yeah," I said. And I meant it. 3 months later, I got a card in the mail. It was from Emily. No return address, but I recognized the handwriting. Inside was a gift card to a restaurant I'd mentioned liking once. $50. And a note. "I know this doesn't fix anything. I know I can't undo what we did. But I need you to know that I'm sorry. Really sorry. Not because you have the screenshots. Because you deserved better. You always deserved better. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just wanted you to know. Emily." I held the card for a long time. Then I put it in a drawer and went back to making dinner. I didn't forgive them. Maybe someday I would. Maybe someday I'd be able to look at them and not see those messages. Not see myself lying on that bathroom floor, alone and terrified, while they laughed on a cruise ship. But that day hadn't come yet. And I was okay with that. Mrs. Chen became my emergency contact. She invited me over for tea once a week. Her daughter, who lived across the country, started calling me to check in. I wasn't a replacement for her own family. I was just someone who showed up. That's all it took, really. Showing up. My physical therapy ended in January. I regained full strength in my left arm. My speech returned completely. The doctor said I'd made a remarkable recovery. I went back to work full-time. My colleagues threw me a small welcome back party. My manager pulled me aside and told me how much they'd missed me. It felt good to be somewhere I was valued. On the anniversary of my stroke, I did something I'd been planning for months. I drove myself, I'd gotten my license back, to the beach 2 hours away. I'd never been there before. I just wanted somewhere new. Somewhere with no memories attached. I sat on the sand and watched the water. My phone buzzed. A text from a number I didn't recognize. "Hey, this is Rachel. Emily's friend. I just wanted to say I'm really sorry for what I said in those messages. It was cruel and I had no right. I hope you're doing well." I stared at it for a while. Then I deleted it without responding. I didn't owe her anything. Not forgiveness. Not closure. Not even acknowledgement. I was done carrying other people's guilt. The sun started to set. The sky turned orange and pink and purple. I took a photo. Not for social media. I deleted most of that. Just for me. A reminder that I'd survived. That I'd rebuilt. That I'd learned what I was worth. And I'd learned that family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up when you're on the floor and can't get up. It's Mrs. Chen, hearing something fall and coming to check. It's David, my physical therapist, standing close when my mom showed up uninvited. It's the rideshare drivers who waited an extra minute when I was moving slow. It's me, choosing myself when no one else would. I drove home as the stars came out. My apartment was quiet. Small. Mine. I made tea. Put on music. Opened a book. And for the first time in a year, I felt completely at peace. Not because I'd gotten revenge. But because I'd finally let go.